told my cousin he's welcome to scar his own children if he ever has any. I was making dinner when my 2-year-old son Georgie grabbed the handle of a pot on the stove. The pot tipped and boiling water poured down his arm and chest. He screamed louder than I've ever heard him scream. I scooped him up, ran to the kitchen sink, and turned on the cold water. I held his arm under the stream and started counting. I took a first aid course when Georgie was born, and they drilled it into us that burns like this need 20 minutes of cool running water. Not ice, not butter, just cool water for 20 minutes. My cousin Dean came running in from the living room. What happened? He poured boiling water on himself. Dean looked at Georgie's arm, which was already bright red and blistering. You need ice. Cold water isn't going to do anything. No, ice makes it worse because it causes frostbite on top of the burn. That's ridiculous. Ice is colder and colder is better. Move. I shook my head. Dean, I took a first aid course. This is what you're supposed to do. What you're supposed to do? Your son is screaming and you're just standing there. What kind of mother are you? A mother who knows what she's doing. You don't know anything. You're torturing him. He reached past me and tried to pull Georgie out of my arms. I shoved him back with my elbow. Don't touch him. Give him to me right now. You're going to scar him for life. Back off. Dean pulled out his phone. I'm calling CPS. This is child abuse. You're standing here doing nothing while your son suffers. I'm doing what I learned in the class. What you learned in a class? You took one class and now you think you're a doctor? He tried to grab Georgie again and I turned my body to block him. Touch him again and I'm calling the police. You're the one who should have the police called on her. Look at his arm. It's getting worse and you're just letting it happen. Georgie was still crying, but his screams had quieted to whimpers. 15 more minutes. Dean paced behind me. When he has scars all over his body for the rest of his life, it's on you. God, you're such a pathetic excuse for a parent. Are you done? No, I'm not done. He got in my face. Actually, I'm glad I'm here. If I wasn't, you'd probably just let him die while you stood around being useless. The timer in my head hit 20 minutes. I lifted Georgie out of the sink and wrapped his arm in a clean dish towel. We're going to the ER. Dean followed me to the car. I'm coming with you. Someone needs to tell the doctors the truth about what you did. We drove in silence except for Georgie whimpering. At the ER, Dean followed us into the exam room and stood in the corner with his arms crossed like he was waiting to watch me get arrested. The doctor examined Georgie's arm and asked what happened. Before I could answer, Dean cut in. She held him under cold water for 20 minutes while he screamed in pain. I told her to use ice or butter, but she refused to listen. She just stood there and let him suffer. The doctor looked at me and I explained about the boiling water and the cool running water. The doctor nodded. That was exactly the right thing to do. Cool water stops the burning process and prevents the burn from going deeper. Ice causes tissue damage and butter traps the heat. The doctor examined Georgie's arm again. This is a second-degree burn, but it should heal without any significant scarring since you cooled it properly. Dean uncrossed his arms. So she got lucky. She didn't get lucky. She did what she was supposed to do. Dean shook his head. Fine, but she didn't need to make it into this whole dramatic thing. She could have just said that instead of pushing me and threatening to call the police on me. I felt my jaw clench. You know what, Dean? You can scar your own children if you ever have any. Dean's face went white. His fiancée had left him 2 months ago after they found out he was infertile, so he was never going to have biological children. Dean stared at me for a long moment, then he turned and walked out of the exam room without a word. The doctor cleared his throat and pretended to be very focused on Georgie's chart. Georgie's arm healed without any scar.